like we mentioned, you have a podcast, and I guess that's really why we brought you on here, because we really want to introduce this to the industry for business owners that aren't aware of, one, Intelligent Shift, two, you and your podcast, which is really the Straight Talk on Fleet. And let's really kind of get into that and kind of shift gears with that. And one, why did you start this podcast? And really, what goals did you have in mind when you started this? Because this is a big undertaking. Anybody taking on a podcast and doing stuff on a consistent basis, it's a little bit, it takes some time to do that. And you got to come up with content with it and making sure it's value added and everything. But why don't you get into that as far as Straight Talk on Fleet?
Yeah, sure. So easy to find. Straight Talk on Fleet is anywhere where you find your content, we're there. You can find me on LinkedIn and link to it there. It's simple to find. But I think let's start with kind of why. When IntelliShift brought me on board, it was really Ryan Driscoll's sort of idea. He's our CMO, to say, hey, we need to build a community of fleet leaders, safety and risk and operations leaders. They need a place to come and talk about all this stuff that we're learning from our customers, from our prospects. And he was asking me, where do you go? I mean, how do you, well, I go to trade shows, Ryan. I network with people in the industry at events, but in terms of this online community, there really wasn't one. He said, well, let's build it. I said, okay, let's do it. I can talk about fleet forever. I love fleet. It's my passion. And so we started to frame out this idea of a podcast, and IntelliShift had dabbled in some podcasts as a marketing strategy prior to bringing me on board. But they thought, if we get a subject matter expert on who can talk about fleet management and all the aspects of it, let's give it a shot. And I hear some stats that say if you can make it past, 15 or 20 podcasts, you're one of a small group. So we just recorded episode 37. So we made it past 25 or 20 or whatever the statistic says. So that was kind of the why, is to build this community where safety, risk, fleet ops leaders could come together and talk about their challenges and how each other are solving for them. And there's a lot of small business owners and small fleet leaders who cannot go to all these industry events. They don't even have time. They probably wear 6 other hats besides running their fleet. And so we wanted to create a place where they could come and share their knowledge, gather knowledge. So I've had a lot of guests on, and we've shared best practices, and we've covered things from building a sustainability plan, how to drive safety culture in your organization, what's fuel management, what's maintenance management. So again, 2 vehicles or 10,000. The way that we talk about fleet management on the Straight Talk on Fleet is in practical, real terms. And based on my experience, having run a massive, massive fleet for many years, I can still relate to how I looked at my fleet. Was never that it was 10,000 vehicles. I looked at it, I have 200 trucks that do this. I have 10 vehicles that do this. I have, 1,100 that do this. So I kind of always thought of my big fleet as a lot of little fleets doing different vocational work. And how could we treat those individually so they can operate safely and efficiently? And so based on all of that experience and implementing brand new SOPs and new policies and rewriting contracts with suppliers, to revamping how we upfitted vehicles so that it made it so much safer and easier for a technician to do their work, thinking of it as that mobile workshop, right? All the way to, what do we do with the vehicles at the end of the life? So there's so many topics, from speccing them out all the way through to you retire them, and everything in between, that we talk about on the podcast and have guests on to talk about, and really kind of break down the silos and break through the barriers and really get to the heart of fleet management. So it's a blast. I'm really enjoying it, and just feeling like I get to continue to be a fleet manager without a physical fleet right now. So it's pretty cool.
And again, that's why we're bringing this out, because we really want everybody to go in and check out Straight Talk on Fleet here with Erin. She delivers it in a great way, in a great manner, with some great guests, great subjects. Yeah, it might not be everything top of mind for here for pest management professionals and their business owners, but again, this is why we're bringing it out to you, because just everything that you said, and really, and congratulations on 37 episodes. I mean, that's a great
Thanks.
feat.